And
oh no!
Some great,
They don't want to know,
great
JP.
cinematography from our cameraman. Gabe was
Hey guys, welcome back to Thaddeus HQ. Today it's a breakdown of Screwtape Beats number 6. I am Damien, I play Cody.
I'm Gabriel. I play Zeke, and I play Gucci.
I'm JP, I play Zach and Screwtape.
We're about to break down the lyrics. However, we're not breaking down every single lyric. We're not doing that. We're breaking down more broader themes. So, anything else, JP?
Let's get into it.
That hits. New intro,
Yes, sir.
album cover. Cody, what was your
Yes.
first opinion when you saw
The new intro?
Yeah, what was your thoughts?
Well, there's me right there. So I was kind of excited about that. And also, because usually all the other ones were started with Gucci and Screwtape, like their faces meshed. Now this is like almost Cody's perspective now. It's like hope. It's like finally it's up to like him to like looking better now. Like his life is looking better. So I thought it was very cool how he was the whole
front
album
of the
cover.
movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. It made sense.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. It
Yeah.
made sense. The whole album cover. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was really cool. It made sense.
Watched you jumping from the bridge, attempting to end it. All you thought that you were shackled, but you felt alone. Felt so small, these demons thought that they had won, but their filthy words will not last. Try to rob you of your future. Time to show them that their present is past.
Gotta be stronger.
Gotta be stronger.
You're trapped in the night.
Trapped in the night.
You thought you must conquer.
Thought you must conquer.
Now stand up and fight.
Stand up and fight. Feeling shame. You're
Before we get into
Yeah.
the lyrics,
Yeah.
Set, why did we, what were we going for with the camera shots and
So
everything?
you can kind of see Cody's in the hospital there. That's where we pretty much left off with the audio in the last song. So we started with the hospital room, but we wanted to make it seem more angelic. It's kind of more in the spiritual realm, so we added a lot of whites. And now in this room that you can see here, we're kind of diving more into Cody's mind, and Zeke is kind of talking directly to, in a sense, directly to his soul, just kind of going back and forth with Cody.
So,
But well, yeah, it also made sense with the fifth one because like that black room with him in the chair was like all in his head. So it's
Yeah.
like it makes sense that this is like in his head, but now the angels are coming into it. So it's like it makes sense.
Yeah, in those first lines there, Zach is pretty much reiterating to Cody, like, we were with you this whole time when you were jumping during your whole process. And then a little bit of wordplay. He says, tried to rob you of your future, time to show that their present has passed. So present meaning like a gift. So the demons.
I just caught that one.
So it's like,
I did not get-
there's like
So-
present, it's like the here and now.
That's cool.
It's
That's
past,
cool.
there's also the present, like.
And then the present has passed, P-A-S-S-E-D, has passed on from your hands, so Cody is no longer yours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a little wordplay.
I didn't catch that,
That
one. I didn't
was
catch
written
that
by
one.
yours truly.
Yes, very good.
feeling pain. Wanna board that train, wanna believe that, hey, cause no one can relate to the pain you felt, but I was there, Cody, and you didn't break. Shoulders have been straining 15 years, that's a lot of weight.
I love that line.
All deflections, misdirections, pay attention.
Feeling pain, you're feeling rejection. All by yourself with your painful collection. Scars and pain and broken reflections. Shattering the mirrors cause you're imperfections. All these projections are paving paths to subjection. You've gotta give an objection. They're weaving webs with perfection. Our love is crossing and winding pain, all intertwining, combining, trapped in occasional compliant. All of your scars, they are counting, all 31, but they're lying. Choking on breaths, you are drowning. Choking on breaths, no reviving. Choking on.
So this part I actually really liked with the lyrics. So the first part, shattering the mirrors because your imperfections, all these projections of pain, paths to subjection. He hates everything about himself, right? It's like he hates his life, he hates how he looks, he hates everything. So it's that idea of like, when you're like so angry, you're like punching the mirror and just like breaking it because you would rather not see yourself than actually like visualize yourself. And then we kind of wanted to give like a distinct feel and kind of like try to or attempt to paint a picture of what it's like inside of a kid's mind, going through inside Cody's mind. So the idea of like, they're weaving webs with perfection, all of it's crossing and winding, all intertwining, confining, trapped in occasional complying, right? So like we wanted the lyrics where it's like all these rhymes back and forth, where it's like, wait, hang on, like what's going on? Where it almost confuses you, even though they make sense. So that like you get an idea of like a feel of like what was happening in Cody's head, where it's like just these crossing, turning webs that like every web leads to more web, and he's just trapped in this total cage, and that's how he felt. So we wanted kind of the lyrics to mimic how his mind was working. So that's kind of why I like that part.
Also, question: is there like a special meaning for the 31 scars line?
Oh yeah, so 31. So with the 31, it was more, I guess, an arbitrary number. A lot of these kids, like, heck, 31's probably even low for a lot of these kids. They probably look at me like 31, try like a couple hundred, you know what I mean? And we wanted to kind of get that idea where it's like, it doesn't matter how many times you've cut or how many times you've harmed yourself. What matters is that you're getting back up and you're still pushing forward. Those scars aren't defining who you are, no matter what number it is.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Breaths, no reviving, choking on breaths, no denying, but you are somehow surviving. Your scars are defining, that chain in your hand is unbinding, that chain to your dying, you're trying and finding the hope in your hand, it is your silver lining.
Okay, we didn't get to that part too. Okay, we're gonna have to back that up a little bit.
Pristine.
JP,
Yes.
would you like to explain chains?
Yes.
What's up with that?
Yes. And cut.
Cut.
Okay, so that chain in your hand is unbinding that chain to your dying.
Yes.
You're trying and finding that hope in your hand. It is your silver lining.
Bars.
So that chain in your hand, you could see in the shot, he's handing him a rosary. So another name for a rosary is a chain. People use that a lot. So that chain to your dying, so that chain in his hand is unbinding the chain to his dying. The chain to his dying is pretty much everything that's holding Cody down, everything that's kind of leading him down this dark path. So he's pretty much saying the rosary is the chain that breaks all of your other chains. And this is the beginning of the hope that we are giving him.
Hence the title.
Hey,
Indeed. Also, it's really cool how a cinematography style is like right when you say choking on breaths, that's like right when the smoke comes and he's like literally you can see him choking on breath.
Choking on breaths, you are drowning, choking on breaths, no reviving.
Which I thought was like really cool how you can like visually see it. That's just one thing that I really thought was cool.
I'm binding that chain to your dying, you're trying and finding the hope in your hand, it is your silver lining.
Look at those eyes.
You're still alive.
So this whole idea, I love the idea. So we were trying to. So one of the problems we were thinking of with the song is like, okay, so when we wrote it, we have the demons, we have the angels, we have Cody, where it's like everyone's coming together. We have all the characters in the shot, and we're like, okay, where the heck are they gonna be? Like, what do we do? So we had a couple different ideas. We thought of like, okay, what if we do more of like a court scene? Because like the demons are gonna try to be all like legalistic about it and try to like twist the truth and everything. So we're like, okay, let's do a court scene where we have angels on one side, demons on the other, and Cody in the middle, like they're basically battling over him. And then the old like World War II projector.
Oh yeah.
Because we kind of wanted to do
I love that idea. That was really good.
I was trying to like connect it to like C.S. Lewis times. So like we kind of wanted to like how it fit like the Screwtape letters and everything. With an old-fashioned projector, and then have like in the background where it's like all the different things that have happened to Cody in the past.
It's like Cody's memories almost, just getting brought up in the court scene, which is really cool.
So it's like the evidence and stuff.
But
so
yeah, exactly.
It was
also, it's like the demons are dressed up, and then Cody's also dressed up, which is kind of scary a little bit because he's like not exactly the angels yet,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like still up there.
How you managed to survive.
Jump from the bridge, it was his time. You're breaking the rules, he's supposed to be mine.
3 criteria that have to be met to be bound into a diabolical debt. Great matter, full knowledge, and full consent to die from that jumpless
Okay,
skull.
What a
yeah,
sleeve.
Hold up. Okay, no, well, okay, the eyes and also like the whole like the line is like
Yeah.
what makes a mortal sin. It's like you literally made the like 3 criteria and then you went down in each one. So like the arguments for the demons are actually good arguments, but it just makes a good villain because they actually have using good arguments
it's not
against
like a
the
straw
good
man
side. It's not like
argument.
black and white. It's like, okay, yeah, Cody messed up. He tried to kill himself, but no, the angel's like, you can get back up, and demon's like, well, no, he tried to kill himself.
Also, a funny thing is that shot where you see Gootrank, and he's like, with his foot up on that tape or whatever.
Yeah.
That shot was super sketch. So we have like, it's not even a table. It's literally, what isn't it like?
Drywall? I think it's
We
drywall.
have like drywall on these like crappy stands. in
Well,
front of-
it's like bins.
Oh,
Made
yeah.
chairs and
When I'm
pieces of wood.
okay, so we wanted
Oh, yeah, that's
Screwtape
right,
to
you're
be
not-
lower than Zach because of just like a psychological power dynamic, and so Screwtape's sitting on a normal chair in that shot, but when we switch it, Zach is literally he's on
You're
the chair.
squatting.
No,
Aren't
no,
you
no.
squatting?
No, I'm on the chair for Zach, but the chair is on like 2x4s.
A couple blocks or something? Yeah, that's how we get like some 2x4 so you're up a lot higher. You could.
So I had to balance, make sure I didn't tip. Yeah,
right.
that was hilarious.
Since he's done that you can't dismiss, he joined our game with ignorant bliss. Step by step, there was nothing we missed. Look what he's done, here is his list. Resentment, pride, trying to hide his vengeance, his obvious wrath, contempt for his sociopath.
That's very
of a
creepy.
father which the Lord hath cursed, we took his offer.
Okay, so you see the demons, they're all like looking all nice and proper. And we want to do these like flashaways and stuff, or sorry, flash twos of more of like, okay, what are they actually behind all this like, smoke and mirrors and stuff. And that's why we want to put like these more like scary, demonic type views of them where it's like, no, that's what they actually are. And it's like, no, they're literally evil.
Like what they actually like look like.
Yeah.
So with those lyrics, Screwtape, he's even trying to plead his case, I guess, for Cody's soul. He's got a list, a nice preppy list of all of Cody's sins.
What was actually on that paper?
I don't think we wrote anything, did we?
There was something on it. We have like the sheet
scrap piece of paper.
Up,
It works.
he cares so little about it. Sorry, keep going.
So pretty much all of Cody's hatred, his resentment, especially for his dad, which he's even saying he's kind of throwing scripture back at Cody yet again, which the Lord hath cursed, which that's in scripture multiple times. He's saying God has cursed his father, and that's why there's so much despair in his life.
Yeah, clearly it's not Screwtape's fault. Clearly it's God.
Yeah, of
the
course.
angels.
And then at the end, he says, "We took his offer," which is like the last lie. Where Zach's like, "All right, get out of here."
Like his offer? Really? He
Yeah.
offered this?
Yeah, and then
Cue it.
We're destroying his cage and changing his future, filling him with grace. Crawl back to your sewer, you are poison and cowardly scum. You are not ready for what is to come. The poison log of yours and under your thumb.
Oh, is that right?
Enough, I've had it, I want.
When you said, "Oh," that annoyed me so much. Like even myself, that just annoyed me so much.
oh,
It was so good. It was so good.
Well, the other thing is too. I mean, obviously, it's a pretty obvious callback. We're destroying his cage and we're changing his future, filling him with grace. Crawl back to your sewer, right? Obviously, what was the title of the 5th song?
Shackled and caged.
Right. So they're destroying, destroying the cage. Just, I don't know if anyone didn't catch it. That's what it is. Okay.
Home, I'm so confused and I wanna be alone, but I wanna visit father, wanna see my dad. I can't think straight, these voices I've had, I need to process my thoughts. Stomach is sick with Byron Rod. I'm sick of this pain, I'm sick of myself. There's no one to help get me out of this house.
Okay. Before that whole part, I just have a question. So when Cody's like saying, "I want to visit father, want to see my dad." Okay, so
That was his one.
for all the people that like he hates his dad, why does he want to go back and see?
it's pretty much his mentality of like his father has caused him so much harm, but then again he feels so stranded and so alone, so he feels like if he can somehow mend that relationship, maybe he'll find some happiness, some closure. So he wants to visit him, wants to try to mend that relationship.
It was kind of
his last
showing,
hope.
Yeah, it was also because he's literally at rock bottom. And I remember you saying this when I was talking to him about it, because I was like, wait, what? And he also said, which I thought was really cool, we kind of want to show, like, you know, deep down, it's like, yeah, he might be on the surface be like saying how much he hates him and everything, but deep down, that's, you know, in a horrible pit, he wants nothing more than his dad's, you know, respect and his dad's love. You know, he feels like his dad doesn't respect him, feels like his dad doesn't love him, and that's going to, you know, absolutely destroy a son.
Oh, for sure.
You know, of course, not going to show it.
Yeah, and visually with that shot, it's kind of even showing more of his anger and confusion. He's like, enough, I'm sick of all of these voices right now, get out. And so he's by himself in the courtroom, pretty much kicked him out temporarily. And he's just like, I need to process all these conflicting emotions, conflicting thoughts I have.
That's literally such a foundational thing he has to fix, is that father-son relationship, you know?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. And it's like you finally actually see it at that point. And that's why, to this section, why Gootrank flips out so bad, because you don't even notice that. You just think, oh, like he's just like kind of like arguing against the demon. It's not because of that. It's because Gootrank is picking up on what Cody's actually starting to understand, where it's like he needs his dad, he needs his freaking father, you know what I mean? That's why he flips out so bad, and, you know, he slams him into the wall and starts screaming in his face, and you just see him, you know, lose it. So
Yeah, that's great.
Also, on a lighter note though, it was so hard not to laugh while doing this with you.
Okay,
I was recording that.
I was giving his face and his eyes. I mean,
No, okay, that was not much acting right there. You beat me up. I was like, it surprised me. You just went to.
I was recording. I was like, I don't think I should be recording. This doesn't feel great.
It was a little intense.
Freak, one more word and I'll never let you sleep.
He messed up.
You tried, you need to back up. Don't you realize you're deceitful, lethal, scheming little weasel? I'm walking through the valley of shadow of death, and I'm fearing no evil.
Stealing every piece of peaceful people, sleeping peacefully, apparently appealing pathologically to predators.
Picking every part of weak apologists apart and putting all their pieces in their proper places for competitors. Like population, putting poison in the veins, spreading pecking every brain, every secret type of pain.
Yep. My reaction.
He cannot remain. His eyes the window to the soulless.
You want to break that whole part down? I'll take the first half. Take the second half.
Sounds good.
So this part was, for me, super fun to write.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, okay, there's some parts where we're pulling our hair out, but it was actually pretty awesome. So the idea. So first, shout out to my brother, Bobby. You might know him as Tavs. This guy right up here. So he wrote some of these lines. What we wanted to do, because we were kind of talking again of like, okay, so the angels and the demons are gonna be fighting. What do we do? Do we like actually film, you know, the demons getting like absolutely just, you know, pulverized, like, you know, whole like fight scene in a sense? And we weren't really sure what we wanted to go with. And then, but what we did know we wanted to do is we wanted them to beat them logically, lyrically, the beat, more aggressive, more intense, everything about it. We wanted the angels to just like basically rip them to shreds and have it better lyrics than anything we've ever written before. And also for any lyricist, more intricate and, you know, harder.
The whole
harder
verse.
Yeah, harder flow
This thing
stuff.
was
So
nuts.
the verse that were basically, I was like, how I looked, I was like, so can we just do a whole entire stanza where everything starts with the letter P or has like the letter P in
And
it?
I was pretty much like,
Nope.
yeah, we can.
That was literally his reaction. Well, that idea, again, another shout out, that idea came because years ago, my brother Bob Tavs, he wrote something, and I remember, and I read it, I don't know, I must have been like 10, I think is when I read it. It was a long time ago. And he wrote this whole thing like this, right? And it all started with the letter P. And I remember reading, I was like, dude, it was sick. Like, I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, I want to do this. So I asked him about it. He was like, you know, heck yeah, do it. I was like, okay. And so we started, you know, writing this whole thing out. And the crazy thing is that, like, not only does it start with the same letter, but all of it makes perfect sense.
Wow.
And it's intricate. There's callbacks. And I don't know, I was super happy with how it turned out. And also the flow, we just like go super fast. Originally, we had the whole thing as just one straight speed thing. And we did it. We had it recorded and everything. But then we kind of were going over it. And we're like, we thought it'd hit more if we slowed up some parts, switched the flow, went fast, went slow, and went back and forth. But anyway, you want to break down the lyrics for part of it?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay.
So with the lyrics, pretty much that intro, Zeke is pretty much unhinged at this point, and he's just going to town. He's saying, all right, back off. In that line, I'm walking through the valley of shadow of death, and I'm fearing no evil.
Yes. That's actually Psalm 23, Bobby's favorite verse, and since he wrote the other thing, I wanted to incorporate that with.
Yeah, which it ties into this perfectly because that whole passage deals with God being the good shepherd, and kind of symbolically God working through the angels to be the protector, the guide of all of his people. Stealing every piece of peaceful people sleeping peacefully. Apparently appealing pathologically to predators. So, in a way, that could be working through people, like appealing to them and tempting them to do evil actions as predators.
Yeah, we kind of want to say where it's like it's not just the demons attacking; they're using people as well. So for instance, like which is kind of which is true. Like they're using the dad in a sense to basically make the dad a predator, where he's hurting Cody, he's harming Cody. So it's like he's appealing, pathologically to the mind of the father to become a predator on Cody.
And that continues with the next line, picking every part of weak apologists apart.
Yes.
Which honestly, it's kind of sad nowadays. It seems like a lot of apologists and just certain leaders are getting tempted, and some of them are making like terrible decisions, and you can kind of see that evil influence and where that's coming from. So we wanted to put that in there, saying like even though they might seem like leaders, everyone can be tempted. They shouldn't be underestimated.
Also, another part, which kind of another secondary meaning to that as well, like picking every part of weak apologists apart, is also because a lot of the times, which is ploy of the devil. It's kind of like a stereotypical thing. Christians and Catholics. It's like they don't care about science, don't care about reason. It's just faith stuff. Which so scientists can just pick apart any argument that theologians present themselves, and that's completely bull. Yeah. Read Aquinas, read Augustine. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's straight reason. It's faith and reason. So we wanted to target that where Zeke is bringing this up. Like, listen, like you're doing all these things. You're making these people into predators. You're presenting all these weak, crappy arguments, and and he's calling it out like it's a straight from you, Screwtape and Screwtank. So.
Yeah. Then putting all the pieces in their proper placements for competitors. Yeah. So pretty much saying that they're laying they're laying out the board, preparing their pawns, I guess you could say, to challenge to challenge the angels and everything that's good. So
basically using all the predators to challenge them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, like working all the strings, pulling everything, trying to get everything in place. So it's not just Cody thinks it's just him alone. It's like no, it's Cody, and then you have all of hell and all the demons and all the people they're influencing and the world around them, and everything is they're putting into place to get and capture this kid's soul for eternity. That's kind of what we're getting at.
Places for competitors. Like population putting poison in the veins, spread affecting every brain, every single type of pain. The bane to your companion, your domain cannot remain. His eyes the window to the soul, the center of a hurricane.
The hurricane that brings the rain, the one you hate with most disdain, the one you can't explain, detain, restrain, and chain with ball and chain or ascertain. You can't attain the gall to speak his holy name. His suffering was to his gain, the end to your pathetic game.
The bane to your campaign and your domain cannot remain. Gabe, do you want to describe what that is?
Okay, so this is the part, and it's done quickly, so it's hard to catch. So when it goes, the bane to your campaign and your domain cannot remain, right? What we want to do is reference basically Calvary and the Passion, right? Where Zeke is calling back to this, historical fact that the demons know very well about, right? And it was what, they killed Christ, and what happened? Their whole campaign of like killing him basically backfired, and Christ destroyed death itself, right? And so what Zeke is doing is he's calling back the Passion and Calvary, and he's basically comparing it to what is about to happen with Cody, right? Where they basically attacked Cody and beat him down and broke him down and like tried to kill him and stuff, and just like Christ, basically conquering them, Cody is going to mimic that and come back and conquer them as well. So he's basically targeting the demon from a historical, emotional, logical tactic, and I thought it was a really cool line.
Nuts. It's nuts. It is good.
So his eyes are the window to the soul, the center of a hurricane. So we're calling back to just that typical phrase of the eyes being the window to the soul, and then It's the hurricane that brings the rains.
How do we spell rain though?
Reigen.
Why would we do that? Because it's Christ.
So we're pretty much saying the hurricane is the power of God, and it's in his eyes, it's in his soul. So with that power, there's a lot of courage that should come to Cody, because that is literally inside him, driving him, giving that power. There's also a little bit of wordplay with the eyes, because the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm could be God, which if you know about hurricanes, the center of the storm, the eye, is actually very peaceful. So pretty much the hurricane is pretty much the storm of God, where it's just a lot of raging power, but then at the center of it there's this calming peace, because he is love, he is peace. And it's kind of that duality. It's like there can be a lot of peace with God, but you do not want to face his wrath. So.
Facts.
You're done attacking Cody. He's your claim to fame and will remain.
That was so satisfying to see. It was so.
This whole thing is so satisfying.
I love what the two teams.
Quite outlandish. It seems your names are about to vanish. Off your list, you've lost your advantage, but bias habits will invade your palace, make you drink your poison, swallow your pride up, bend your chalice. After the fall, he has been
It so satisfying. Didn't you say? I don't know if we could keep this in, but I thought you said, didn't when your mom see that she loved that part?
Yes.
Yes. If like a mother is like happy when she sees like these things like bloodied and beat up, like you know.
So with that whole section, yeah, the angels. Oh yeah. Mental reset. So with that whole section, the angels just messed up the demons, and that part you could kind of see Zach headbutting Screwtape on the table. That was kind of cool.
Head slam. I don't know. Head blitz.
Oh yeah. Zeke is saying, okay, you guys are done. Cody is your claim to fame. Like, he would be the reason that you would ever be famous. He's like just not another name for you to kind of put on your belt, or like another slash. So and we were trying to go off Screwtape Letters, his writing style, where it's saying like Cody wouldn't be another honorary badge that they could put on once they claimed his soul. He's more than that. He's unashamed, and he's gonna aim for your guys' brain.
Basically, kill shot.
Vandalize your canvas.
You wrote this whole part.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I wrote some of the other stuff, but like this part he wrote, and he like somebody was like, dude, check out these lyrics. All right. And I looked at him. Yeah, what the heck is that? what are you even saying? He's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's lyrically, it's so fire. I was like, okay, it might be lyrically fire, but I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
A lot of symbolism. So the angels are saying Cody is going to vandalize your canvas. The way I pictured it, the demons are painting this picture of Cody and Cody's future, how they think Cody will act and how they'll respond and all that. And they have this all planned out strategically, logically, all that
so
good
kind
stuff.
of like a callback to like placement, like that placement.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're saying Cody's going to vandalize your canvas, saying he's going to take that paint, he's going to rip it up, destroy it. You can't control me type of energy.
The next part we're kind of writing, I think, because that second half we both wrote. And what was sick about the second half, I mean, the whole thing was sick, but so it goes, my, you're anxious, quite outlandish, seems your names are about to vanish, right? So if we were just talking about Cody, why wouldn't it have been just name? Why the plural, right? So what we're getting at with what Zach is saying is that they're getting scared, not just because they know they're going to lose Cody, right? It's because of all the other names on that list of theirs, right? All of the names that they have, all the different people that they're attacking and trying to get to hell, right? And so, yeah, but the whole idea, so again, kind of going on like another level. So like what they're saying and like what's actually going on, right? Cody's going to, invade their palace, right? Basically invade hell. And all those names and souls that they thought they're going to have and have eternity and for hell, that when they die they go to hell. Before that happens, Cody, with all his suffering, with all this pain, everything he's going to, basically Zach's kind of pointing to the future. He's going to be able to be offering that up and be saving all these souls from the clutches of the devil, right? So it's kind of what we're trying to get at is like a lot of these, suicidal kids, they think their life is absolutely worthless and they have no meaning. And it's like, no, like there's so, like, the bigger the cross you have to carry, the more freaking souls you can actually save, the more power you actually have, right? So with these, like, kids who are suffering with suicide and depression and everything, it's like they can save so many people. They can use that and turn it where now it's not just like them getting beat on, it's like we're saying, it's them invading the palace of hell. Basically, Zach is saying this isn't just ending with Cody, that tail that you were beating Cody with, or that mace that you're beating Cody with, is going to whip around, it's going to hit you harder and stronger than ever, and it's not just going to be Cody who save. Cody is then going to save thousands more. So that's why I thought the bar was just you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll get off my soapbox. And then the final line, make you drink your poison, swallow your pride, upend your chalice. So this was also sick. If anyone knows the story of Saint Benedict, then this line is going to resonate with them. So one of the biggest things, a medal that demons hate and are terrified of is the Benedictine medal, right? Because if you read the story of Saint Benedict, one of the things he told the devil was basically drink the poison yourself, right? And so we're calling back to that where it's Zach, and he's basically another callback to a saint that basically told the devil the exact same thing. Like, all this poison you're feeding Cody, all this poison you're feeding people, drink it yourself. So.
Ego.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, one more thing. That's where I want to shut up. Okay. And then that last part, right? So the after that fall, where it's more of like a shout, growl, I don't know, just like this, like just total adrenaline, and aggressive. And so what we're wanting to do with that is, because there's kind of a false view of angels, right? They're just, small little chubby babies, cupids, just lovey-dovey thingies that's all they are, right? And we want to take that and basically throw it down the pit of hell where it belongs, because that's not what angels are, right? They're these fierce, terrifying, incredibly powerful warriors that are our brothers, right? And so that where it's just Zeke, where it's just total aggression, and just he's almost like, kind of like you said, unhinged, where it's like he is going at the demons so hard where it's almost like, let me back at him, like let me destroy these things. We kind of want to kind of get that point across, because it's like, if anybody wants to fight demons and break their hold on people, it is definitely the angels. And they are zealous, they're full of zeal, they're full of passion, and they're powerful, and we kind of wanted to get that across with that part with Zeke. So I thought that was pretty fire too.
Very good.
Your names are about to vanish. Off your list, you've lost your advantage, but bias habits invade your palace, make you drink your poison, swallow your pride, upend your chalice.
After the fall, he has been changing direction. He started his secession. He will be your infection. Your tainted demonic perception has been assigned as your lesson, breaking your whole new obsession. Doctor prescribing the poison. Here is your vial. It's time to take the injection.
Nice. Nice. Again, Zach's kind of just staring Screwtape right in the eye, saying, like, look, after that fall, he's done. He's switching his life around. So Cody's not only going to break free from their grasp, he's going to remove their grasp from a lot of other people as well. He will be your infection. And I like the part where Zach says,
I like the whole thing, man. It's just fire.
So your tainted demonic perception will be your lesson. So your your outlook on life and how you perceive humans is literally going to be brought back to you, which is kind of how we describe the doctor prescribing your poison is going to take your own venom, your own poison, and feed it back to you, and that's your medicine.
You've been given this chance. Free from the trance.
So what do I do?
Their voices aren't you. He's not the you that's really true. You were in the mirage. You gotta break through everything you've done. You can't undo. Your soul's in your hands. I'll take back you.
Take back you? How is that done? What do I do? What do I do?
Grab my hand. We'll help you through.
How do I feel less alone? I don't got no home. All I did was miserable and born of them invisible. Sitting in class.
So Zach says their voices aren't you. He's not the you that's really true, which is a callback.
Ooh, what's it? Wait, Cody.
To the second.
I was right.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Where, who was it? Screwtape says, "I'm not a voice. I'm just you." I'm the you that's really true. He's trying to just brainwash Cody into thinking all of those thoughts are his own. And Zach's just reiterating the fact that no, you're your own person and you can make your own decisions.
What's also cool about it too, what I liked, is because it's like, it's also showing that the angels are going back to these like deep-rooted lies that the demons planned there, forever ago. And, it's basically calling out all those seeds that, Screwtape planted in Cody's mind, with the U lines and stuff. And he's basically countering each one. Like, no, Screwtape isn't just like Screwtape and Cody aren't one and the same. He's different. He's this demon that's attacking you. And I thought that was kind of a cool theme.
Yeah. And Zach saying like all of this can be undone. There's still hope. And he's offering his hand out. Just grab it. We'll help you. And I kind of like how we visualized it. Cody's still like, no, I don't trust you quite yet, and he smacks it away. And I remember Gabe talking about this earlier. It's a very realistic outlook. It's like, okay, he just attempted suicide. Not everything's gonna be all fine and dandy. He's still struggling. It's gonna take some time. So.
The teacher asked one word to describe my life and not back to my past. She said anything was on the table, anything's permissible. I looked at my friends, looked at her, my life is just killable.
I know, I was there. All the kids laughed, thinking it was a joke you cracked. Don't acknowledge your cry for help, so you laughed. Then you asked to use the bathroom, be right back. She said yes, but we both know you really took it.
Okay, so this whole thing is kind of interesting because it's like kind of something that we didn't do before, where it's like going back in time almost, which is he's like rapping about like in his classroom what the teacher was asking him, like what assignment or whatever, and he's like his plea for help, but they all like laughed, which I thought was really cool because a lot of suicide people, I think, like they think that they're pleading for help, but not a lot of people know that. So people just assume that it's a joke, or just in a side comment. But then to the suicidal person, it's like
a dagger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It hurts. Yeah, exactly.
And
oh no,
some great
they don't want to know,
great
JP.
cinematography from our cameraman. Gabe was sitting on a toilet when filming this.
Okay, you don't have to say it like that. we forgot some of the stuff for our camera, so we couldn't use it. So I was like, okay, well, I got an iPhone. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna do a stall scene. We didn't like pre-play. We were like, okay, we want to do a stall scene, like where he's in there, but we didn't like think about like what that would actually entail. And so we're like in this public bathroom, and we're like, okay, make sure no one comes in here because if I'm just gonna pick my feet up. That way they always see one person in there. And so like I'm in there, I'm like, okay, David start like punching walls. Headbutt the wall, hit the wall and stuff, and I'm like, I was more like standing and stuff on the toilet with like this foot up, like crammed down. I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. I'll try this. And JP's just out there like post up, like no one is coming. It was nice.
In the stall you were breaking down, the tears were running, beginning to drown.
Punch the wall, you knuckle
Also,
blood. I hate
switch
this
up his
depression,
leg.
so angry instead.
I love it.
My favorite shot.
Hurt yourself and still you wind up feeling nothing. Always nothing. Why is it always nothing?
So sad.
So one of the reasons why I like this shot, and you can probably speak more about it too, but for me it was because one was the acting that you did, because it's like it was just raw emotion, and it's like he's angry, he's like angry crying, depressed crying, giving up crying, where it's just like, and he's just about to just break his hand against this wall, and then it's like he swings and then he just bang, and just catches it, and it's like, and then like you see his face where he like tries to fight, and he's trying to like fight against Zeke, and then like there's like that moment, and they like look at each other, and then you just see him just like crumble, you know what I mean, and he just like falls into like Zeke's shoulder, just completely like giving up on everything, which I don't know, I thought it was just
and I think it kind of makes sense even more so. I think we briefly talked about this, where Zach is a higher up demon.
Oh no, that is not what's happening. No, that's not like some hidden reveal. No.
Whoops. All right.
Restart.
So I think we might have mentioned this earlier, where Zach is a higher up angel than Zeke, and
Zeke's like his guardian angel.
Yeah.
He's a power, right?
Zach's a power.
6 square.
Hey, yeah.
And so like they're talking on the roof, and Cody's rejecting him, just saying like no. But Zeke kind of relates more to Cody, where he's back in time in the school. He's like, I know, I was there. And I think that's kind of even subconsciously why he kind of breaks down in Zeke's arms kind of more comfortably. He trusts him a little bit more. So I just thought that was a
there's
cool
that
aspect.
bond between them.
Yeah.
You know, Zeke's his guardian angel, and so they're very, very similar. And if anyone's gonna understand Cody, it's gonna be Zeke. And that's because I think we talked about having both the angels in that scene originally.
Yeah.
And then we decided against it for that very reason. It's like, no, like we wanted to show that connection between a guardian angel and, you know, the person. So.
Oh, it's also cool. It's like the connection also is like of visually too, because he dresses like Cody.
Ah,
yeah. That's why you're the one in the black, and then he's the one in the white. He's like showing his power, shows like connection between them. So it's not like being sneaky and a demon or something. It's like you know, being a connection. It's like, it makes sense.
Where was God when I was beat? Can you even tell me why? If he actually loves me, why'd he let me jump that night?
Where was God when you were beat? He was crying by your side.
I know that's supposed to help, but I'm still wishing that I died.
This process won't be simple, but it will become your creed. We will mend the wounds cut in your wrists that they have caused to bleed. You will take back what they took, reclaiming what they've taken. We know that you are scarred, but trust me, you are not forsaken. Stand up, Cody, they thought they won, no backing down. Now on to step 1.
So originally we were thinking we wanted them like walking to something, and then when it was film day, we looked outside, and I was like, "Oh, it's Ohio weather." JP, and I called him. I was like, "Yo, it's," and he's like, "I know," and I was like, "Yo, it's a blizzard outside."
It was like in the spring too. It wasn't even. It was like towards the end of winter.
Yeah, and it was like okay, what the heck, you know? So I was like thinking about it, and I was like, "Yo, wait, this might work. Like this might be lit." We asked our dear friend, let's say Jimmy, Jim Larry, Jim Bob, Butters,
Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence, Lori. Okay, there's more. But anyway, he has a lot of nicknames, right? So we asked our friend. And I was like, "Yo, we need someone to to film with us." And he was like, "Okay, in the shop." And I was like, "No,
outside."
Outside. And he was like, and he just looked. He was just like, you know, give me this look. And I was like, please. And he was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, he like huffed and puffed. But anyway, so we go out. I was like, okay, so we have this like, you know, this camera. It costs like thousands of dollars, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't want this thing to get all snow and wet all over where it's gonna break. And so I was like, okay, what do we do? And JP was like, well, we could bundle them up. And I was like, you know, it's not that idea. And so we get good old Jim Larry, and we basically take this big old blanket, we like wrap him. He can't even see out of it, and we basically make this little like hole for the camera lens to stick out of, right? And so he basically can only see from the little screen on the camera as he's like walking down this road. He's like, please don't let me get run over. You know? and then we're going down this, you know, this storm. And then so we record it, you know, it's 6 shots and everything, you know, that's real snow and everything. And then we were debating for the color grading, right? Yeah. So we had 2 different things. And we color graded it. One, it literally looked almost like this like gorgeous spiritual paradise ahead of them. It was like sunny. Like we made all the greens pop, we made like the, you know, the warm colors all super vibrant, and it looked gorgeous, right? And it was like, and then it was weird because it looked spiritual because like the snow coming through, and we're like walking down this path, and we did that, and we all liked it, and then I was like, okay, and I was like, I'm gonna do the opposite, right? And we did more of like a raging storm look, you know. So it wasn't even that much darkening, because that's pretty much how it looked normally. And we're kind of, me and him are talking about it again, and even I think you were even in this conversation, and we're like, okay, which one do we want to go for? You know, is it like him like walking out of like all the crap he was in, or then? But we were looking at the lyrics and everything. We're like, well, no, because he's not out of it. He's just starting it. Like this is his first step to like try to get out of it. It's not like he's not, you know, it's not good. And so we're like, okay, we wanted it to look where it's like, no, the angels side by side with Cody walking head on into and through this dark, terrifying storm, and that's more the feel we wanted to go with, which I thought it hit. Like, I love the shot.
It makes sense because like just the angels walking with him is just says hope enough, you know. You don't need like a paradise that he's walking to paradise yet. You just need angels on his side walking with him, and that says enough to hope, I think.
So with Cody's lines, he says, where was God when I was beat? Was he there when I jumped? Why'd he let me jump? And then Zach says, where was God when you were beat? He was crying by your side. He was there. He was there through all of it. And I sent my angels to the bridge to save you. And he's like, I know that's supposed to help, but I don't care, really. Which I was briefly talking about earlier. It's like, this is the beginning of the hope, but he still could use a lot of work.
Yeah, like he's still he literally just jumped. Like he's not. Yeah. Boom. Oh, big experience. I'm saved. I'm gonna be all good now. It's like no, that's not real. That's not how it works. It's a journey. He's still
in the hospital. Like that one scene at the end, you could see the angels flanking him, and then right at the end, Zach is pretty much filling him with confidence, saying, "All right, you're gonna take back what they took. Everything that they've done to you, you're gonna become better. You're gonna become stronger. You're not forsaken. There's no more backing down. It's go time."
Yeah. Which, okay, that line, there is no backing down. No, on the step one. Like, also just how you deliver it. I don't know. I think it just kind of captures like the Angels' mentality and kind of like who the Angels are. You know, where it's like, I mean, you know, the kid is like, dude, he just attempted suicide. He's all beat up, and the Angels like, yo, you're not backing down now. We're doing this. You know, it's like even where it's like Cody feels like he's just absolutely just hopeless, right? The Angel's like, no, there's hope, and we're doing this together type thing, you know. And I think that's just that, you know, it's that like intensity that I love about it with those lines, and it just captures who they are. Even for people who are struggling with it, it's not like, don't think it's just like, oh, boom, I'm gonna be better. It's not. It's most likely not going to work. I mean, maybe I guess it could, but it's most likely not, and it's most likely gonna be this journey. So like, if you are one of those kids, or you're one of those, not even a kid, if you're one of those adults or something, it's like, you know, don't get discouraged and disheartened when it's like, you know, you have like a week where you're going good, and then like you like fail, and so you start cutting again, or you like try to stop cutting, or like, or whatever it is that you do. It's like, don't let those, you know, slimy little demons voices influence you, where it's like, you know, you're a failure, you can't do it. Yes, you can. There's always freaking hope. You know what I mean? And I thought that line kind of just captured that.
Yeah, well, it makes sense too, cause like God gives you like the temptations.
Well, he allows.
He allows the temptations, and then so if you do beat it, you're gonna become way stronger. And then, you know, the demons are terrified of that, so they want to keep breaking you down. So it's basically, what you said is keep trying, and then you don't give up. And then what is Zach said.
One of the cool things too, if you study the saints, a lot of the saints that are like patron saints of stuff, or like saints that like you pray to, is because they're the ones who struggled the most with that exact sin. So like, for instance, like Augustine, right, was tempted a ton by impurity, right? And now there's a thing, I mean, they have it's literally called the Augustine way, and I know they use it at like seminaries, and it's for like basically helping dudes overcome and that type of stuff. If you told Augustine that back in his, like, you know, when he was younger, and he was not a good dude, right? And if you told him that, he would probably laugh and call you an idiot.
All right, guys, there was our breakdown of the 6th Screwtape song. Hope you liked it. And the 7th one, we are working on it. So it is all written. We just got to master it and film it, and we will get that to you guys.
Anyway, gentlemen, I think there's something we need to give the people. 3, 2, 1.
Good stuff, boys.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.